Hi, so today's class is going to be all about the hips. It'll be quick, but we are specifically going to focus on our hip flexors, our outer hips, and our inner thighs. So we'll get started on our mats. Find any comfortable seat, preferably with your legs crossed. It doesn't matter if they're both underneath you or you have one stacked on top of the other. If you need a little bit more height, you can always put a blanket or a block under your seat. Start by removing any excess flesh. Lift the crown of the head tall towards the ceiling. Find that extension between your vertebrae. Roll your shoulders up and down your back. And just take a few natural breaths here. Maybe you close your eyes. And then when you're ready, we're going to begin bending from the hip area. So if it might be helpful to put your hands around your hips here, and you can press your pointer fingers in towards your hip sockets as you feel your body start to fall forward. Extend your arms to grab the weight, and then continue the fold from the lower belly, and if possible, and as you grow in your length, you'll be able to extend more of the torso down towards your feet, maybe the mat. And when you find your full extension, drop your head all the way to the mat. I like to tent my fingers. It keeps the shoulders active on my back. And then really focus on breathing through the back of the hips. As you exhale, you will probably begin to feel your lower back soften and the hip region open. If you find that you have a little bit more length, you can begin to move your fingers up further forward. And on the next inhale, walk your hands back up and switch the cross of your legs and do the same thing on the other side. Lengthen first. Find the area that we will hinge from, and then use your fingers to guide the hips forward, lowering the belly, lowering the chest. Extend the arms, and then release the head. You might notice a big difference in the sensations of the body with one side versus the other. Wherever you feel that you have the most tension or the greatest amount of tightness, try to draw your breath from that area, and then as you exhale, release your breath into that area, and you'll slowly begin to feel it open up. And on the next inhale, walk your hands back towards your body, extend through the crown of your head, and we will come forward onto our hands, toes come together, knees open wide, and drop your torso down to the mat for child's pose. Take a few breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, press through the hands, come forward onto the tops of the knees. As we fold into seal pose, drop the hips to the mat, lift the heels towards the back of the body, and the crown of the head arches back towards your toes. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Again, inhale, press through the hands, rock forward over the knees, pull the feet in tight, reach the crown of the head back towards the toes. Push back, child's pose. And take a couple of these at your own pace. And on your next child's pose, come forward into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes underneath you, walk back onto your heels, and open up into a yogi squat. As you settle into this position, really focus on rolling the weight of your body towards the outside of your pinky toes. You can use your elbows to press against your knees, which will help lift the chest, and you will feel a greater sensation in the hips. Start to find some movement here. You can bring your hands to the mat and open one foot, rolling onto the outside edge, switching it, and switching it. Just rolling those knees towards the back of the mat, one at a time. Really using the outside of that foot to help open the knee and open the hip. After you've done a few of these, we'll come back to center and we'll take that at a little bit more of an extreme. So now we're going to drop one knee to the ground at the front of the mat and then roll it open as much as you can towards the back. And then come over the foot onto the inside of the foot, drop the knee down, and then open. And down, and open. And then take a few more of those on the other side, opening to the back, rolling it all the way in, and just feeling the rotation of the hip in the hip socket as you gently roll it back and forth. And then return to your yogi squat. Maybe you have a little bit more space here. Lift up tall. Press into those pinky toes, and then walk the hands forward into a tabletop. I like to tuck my toes underneath here for stability. My right toe will stay on the mat, and the left leg is going to stay in a 90-degree angle and just lifting it off the mat. We're going to open the knee to the side for 1, 2, 3, keep your weight even in both hands, and 4. Bring the knee back down, don't let it touch the ground, lift it behind you, keep the 90-degree bend, and just lift through the quad. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring the knee back down to the side, try not to let it touch the ground, open it to the side, extend the leg long, and rotate the leg towards the back. Bend the knee, bring it back, try not to let it touch the ground, open it to the side, extend the leg long, rotate it towards the back. Again, really feeling that hip socket rotating fully. Extend, rotate, and pull it in. Just one more. Lift, extend, rotate completely, pull it in, let this one go. Push back, child's pose. Maybe rock side to side. We're preparing for the other side. And then inhale, press through the hands, come into tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Tuck your toes underneath you. Left toes are going to stay on the ground this time, and lift the right knee up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right knee comes back. Don't let it touch, going to the back. Donkey kick. 1, pulse. 2, 3, 4. Bring it back down to center. Picking it up again to the side. Extend the leg long. Roll the hip all the way through. Straight leg to the back. Pull the knee in at a 90-degree angle. Up to the side. Extend the leg long. Roll it to the back. Just 2 more. Bring the knee in. Out to the side. Extend the leg long. And we're rolling it around. Last one. Knee hovers, lifts, push through the foot, and pull it around towards the back, and bring your knee back to the mat. Taking one more child's pose. And inhale, press through your hands, tuck your toes under, and press back to a downward facing dog. Bend your knees as much as necessary to maintain that straight back. A flat neck, pressing through the hands. Chest is going towards the shins. Maybe bend one knee, then the other. You can even rotate your hips open from one side to the next. This feels really good across the front of the hip and the side. One more roll, then we will find stillness in our down dog, pressing through the hands. Inhale, right leg comes up. Pull the knee in, close to the body. Try to drag it through to the chest, shift the weight over the hands, and then look at your thumbs and drop that foot between your hands, low lunge. We're gonna drop the back left knee, and that right knee can extend over the right ankle for this position. Lift the torso, take both hands and just gently rest them on the knee. This might be enough. Begin to really breathe through that hip flexor as you feel the extension through your hip. You might even feel it in your groin. And you can stay here. If you're looking for a little bit more sensation, you can take your hands and just gently apply pressure as you lift your chest and you gaze up. With a little bit more intensity there in the front of that hip. Keep breathing. I know this pose isn't super comfortable, but the longer you hold it, the more comfortable it becomes. And then release your hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes underneath and just extend through the front leg for your version of a half split. You can have your knee bent as much as necessary, but we really want to try to push that right hip back and the left hip forward. So again, you let your body fall onto your leg. Similar like how we started in the beginning of class with that first forward fold. Drop the head. And on an inhale, we'll stand onto that front foot and come into a low lunge. This time our knee is stacked over our ankle. Press through the back of that extended leg. Begin to release your hands off the floor, allowing your body to be held by your legs, and open up into a warrior two. Really focusing on the hips again here. We're going to press the back hip forward as we pull our shoulders a little bit further back so that our torso sits down into the middle of our warrior two. Holding these poses creates strength mentally and physically. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Just reach up. I like a half bind with my arm behind my back. And then hands come to center for a goddess pose. So really squat down here. And again, holding creates strength. If you really want to have some movement, you can take little pulses. And if you're looking for greater sensation, you can come up onto your toes and either hold or pulse. Any variation that feels good to you. Holding it for just one more breath. And then open up to warrior two to the back of your mat. So keep your legs where they are and just open your toes to the left. Extend the arms long and look over your left fingertips. Pull that right hip towards the front, pull the left hip back, and pull the right shoulder back as you sit in. One more breath. Back to the center for a pulse of goddess. Open to star, open the arms up, and fold forward. A breath in, and a breath out. Begin to walk your hands towards your front right foot. Find your low lunge, stacking your knee over your ankle, and then sweep that right leg behind you to a three-legged dog, and release that to the mat, downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So breath in, lift the left leg high, pull the knee into the chest, shifting the weight over the wrists. Look at your thumbs and drop your foot. Our deep low lunge, so our knee will come out over our ankle as we release the back toes, extend the torso up. Just feel this initial sensation of that right hip opening up. Where are you holding tension? And again, try to really breathe in from that location of the tension. And then as you exhale, bring the air all the way back there and let it go. For a little bit greater sensation, you can press gently onto that front leg as you lift the chest. And then bring your hands back to the mat, pushing back to our half split. Tuck your back toes, extend your front leg long, and allow your torso to fall onto that front leg. This time working our left hip back and pulling our right hip forward. And on an inhale, rock onto the front foot, low lunge. This time your knee is stacked over your ankle. Steady through both feet. Begin to release the weight of your hands and open into a warrior two. Your mind will quit way before your body does. The next inhale, we'll reverse the warrior, maybe taking that half bind and pushing the top hand towards the back of the mat. And then finding our goddess pose, both feet turn out as we sit down. Again, you can pulse, you can lift one foot, maybe the other, maybe both. On the next inhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. Think about pressing through the back knife edge of your back foot, pulling your right shoulders back a little bit, sitting deeply, pressing through all your front toes. Inhale back to goddess. And star pose, let this one go. Open the arms out wide and fold from the hip crease down to the mat. And on an inhale, you can begin to walk your hands back towards your front foot. Find that low lunge with your knee stacked over your ankle. And then release that back foot to a downward facing dog. Maybe take 2 breaths here. One more. Okay, inhale, shift forward to plank. We'll come onto our right side body here. So drop your right elbow, forearm down to the mat and pick your left knee up. Place it in front of you like this. And I like to have my left hand here on the mat. If you prefer yours on your hip or anywhere else, you do what's best for you. So from here, focus on rolling the weight into your pinky toe and then begin lifting that lower leg for 1, 2, we'll do 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's that inner thigh. Release onto your back. Roll down completely. Your hands will press into the mat. Left leg stays on the ground, right leg comes up. Point your toes and begin to draw some circles. We're gonna let that right leg fall to the right and imagine just drawing a circle, an arc back towards your standing leg across and open it up. And again, feel that hip rotating in the socket. We'll do 3. And then hold it high and reverse it, starting over your body. Just really feeling that opening in the hip as you close the hip and bring the leg up towards the sky, across the body. Open. And one more. Open. And down. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock and roll a few times. And come up into your yogi squat. Right away, roll the weight of your body onto the outside of your pinky toes. Lift the chest, press the elbows into the legs. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. And drop your hands to the mat. Lift the hips, turn your toes in so they're right behind your wrists. Bend your knees greatly and find ragdoll pose. Maybe sway side to side. Shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. And release your hands to the mat. Heel toe your feet together. Step back to plank. Left side. So we'll come onto our left side body. Left forearm comes to the ground. Right leg comes out in front of you. Find a comfortable place for your right hand, and we'll begin with 10 lifts with the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release that leg to the ground and roll onto your back. Using our left leg this time, begin by pressing your hands into the ground. Right leg stays long, point your toes. Lift your left leg. And drop it to the side, let's go out. Notice how you might have more range of motion with one hip than the other as you draw big circles with your toes. Really focus on the way that hip is moving in the socket. And when you're ready, reverse it to the other side, letting your left leg first fall across your body, and then a big circle with your toe. Open the hip. I always find this side's a little bit easier, or this rotation. And last one. Return that foot to the ground. Bring your other foot up to meet it. Grab your knees, rock and roll a few times. Cross your ankles and come back into a yogi squat at the top of your mat. Roll onto those pinky toes, tuck the tailbone under and lift. On the next inhale, release the hands. Turn the toes in so that they're facing the back of your hands and find your ragdoll pose. When you're ready, release your hands to the mat, heel toe your feet together, and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Your head is the last to come up. Shoulders are up and down your back. Open your palms to the front of the mat. Settle your breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And that's a wrap. Thank you for doing this with me today. I know that over time, if you continue to work some of these things into your regular practice or some of your daily life routines, you will strengthen and lengthen your hips. I'll see you next time.